Unaware that the crippled youngster is requesting food, the waitress humiliates him. Keanu Reeves was observing the busy eatery, full with clinking dishes and conversation. The majority of patrons were absorbed in their conversations, enjoying their meals, and oblivious to the world around them. One of them was a young boy, no older than 12, whose wheelchair was rolling slowly across the floor as he approached the counter. He had been sitting outside for some time, watching the activity inside with a mixture of longing and hesitation, and his hands gripped the wheels tightly as he steered himself closer to the counter. His legs still ached from being immobile, which caused him to wriggle a little in his chair, but he rolled up to the counter where Alex, the waiter, was wiping down the surface. "Excuse me," the boy said in a quiet, steady, nervous, but steady voice, "could I please have something to eat?" Alex gave him a chilly, unimpressed glance. He asked, hardly raising his head from his job, "What do you want?" The youngster hesitated, then said, "Just some pasta, please, whatever you have." An impatient spark passed across Alex's eyes. "We're not a take-what-you-get kind of place," he said, not bothering to hide the annoyance in his voice, and the boy's face tightened with embarrassment. He had come in hoping that everyone else would treat him like a regular customer, but now that Alex was acting dismissively, he felt smaller than ever. Alex turned away to prepare the food, and the boy sat motionless, trying to maintain his composure. The restaurant was still bustling with activity, but to him, everything seemed to have calmed down, and he tried to ignore the sting of Alex's words. He had always been accustomed to people treating him differently because of his disability, but something about the way Alex had spoken to him made it feel worse than ever before. He just wanted to eat to feel like he belonged, but that was too much to ask. Though the child was unaware of it, Keanu Reeves, wearing a simple sweatshirt, was sitting in a far corner of the restaurant and had seen the boy arrive and the brief discussion. While Alex was preparing the food with a frown on his face and hadn't even acknowledged the boy's presence after his initial request, Keanu had been enjoying his quiet meal, but something about it this time bothered him. His attitude was growing more and more obvious as he placed a plate of pasta in front of the boy and muttered, "There, eat it or don't, your choice." When the youngster reached for his fork, a calm voice interrupted him, saying, "That's no way to treat anyone." The boy's hands trembled as he attempted to steady himself, feeling a mixture of humiliation and frustration. He looked up at Alex and then at the gathering surrounding him, where the stillness sounded deafening. Alex paused, his eyes jumping between Keanu and the child. "What do you mean?" Keanu questioned as he walked over to the counter. His tone was calm, but there was authority in it. His voice was defensive. "I mean," Keanu stated, "that you don't talk to people like that as you get closer, since he is a paying client just like everyone else." Clearly oblivious to the man in front of him, Alex scoffed and snapped, "Who are you to tell me how to do my job?" Keanu's stare remained fixed as he crossed his arms. "I believe in respect," he said, adding that Alex still doesn't understand the seriousness of the situation. "You don't know anything about how hard this job is. He's just another kid asking for food, and that's the problem." "You think he's just another kid, and you don't see him," Keanu replied in a calm but forceful voice. Bravery for the first time, the child who had been silently watching the exchange felt a glimmer of hope that someone was watching out for him. Keanu turned to face the boy and gave him a soft grin. "Never allow anyone to make you feel less valuable than that." The boy's eyes remained slightly open and his heart skipped a beat as Misty met Keanu with astonishment and thankfulness. "Thank you," he mumbled. "What do you think, you can just come in here and fix everything?" Alex muttered, his voice colored with rage, as he stood frozen for a while, staring at Keanu. Keanu didn't flinch. "No, I don't think I can change everything, but I do believe you have the power to choose to be good to others." Keanu had given him something he didn't know he needed: hope that there was still kindness in the world, hope that he wasn't invisible. The boy, feeling a little more at ease now, looked down at his plate. This wasn't how things usually went. People didn't stand up for him, ignored him, avoided him, or worse, humiliated him. Alex, who had been aloof and defensive, appeared to change his attitude a little. He looked at the youngster, and there was a fleeting flash of guilt in his eyes. Keanu watched, waiting for Alex to do something. Alex let out a deep breath after a prolonged, tense pause. "I'm sorry," he whispered, staring at the youngster. "I shouldn't have treated you that way." The boy gazed up at him, perplexed, but optimistic that everything was all right. Keanu gave Alex a slight nod of encouragement, saying, "I'm just hungry," he said. "It's not too late to do the right thing. But the decision is yours." Alex appeared to be considering his actions as he stood there, seemingly processing the words for the first time. The boy didn't need to know that Alex had just experienced a personal awakening. Something inside of him realized that he needed to perform better, not only for the boy but also for everyone with whom he came into contact. "I'll get you a decent meal." A few seconds later, Alex reappeared with a steaming plate of freshly made spaghetti, which he placed carefully in front of the youngster this time. "This one's on me," he added softly, his voice now more earnest. The youngster grinned broadly and said, "Thank you," in a voice full of sincere appreciation. It was a tiny gesture, but it meant the world to him. As he left the restaurant, Keanu glanced around one final time to see Alex serving the boy with a sincere grin. Keanu felt at ease as he watched from the sidelines. The moment was brief but significant. He had done what he could, and now it was up to Alex to continue the lesson. The uneasiness between them has now given way to a calm comprehension. If you enjoyed this story and believe in the power of kindness, keep in mind that kindness, even in small gestures, has the capacity to heal and bring people together. Keanu understood that sometimes small actions could make a big difference, and that sometimes a simple act of kindness can change someone's day, or even their life. The story serves as a reminder that everyone deserves respect regardless of their circumstances, and that empathy can spark positive change in a world where it's easy to overlook others. For more touching stuff, be sure to subscribe and like this video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more motivational tales. Please share this with your friends to spread happiness, and to remind everyone that even a small act of kindness can make a big difference. Keanu Reeves finally speaks out. Is this the end of John Wick? It's possible that John Wick, the renowned hitman Baba Yaga, who created an entire underworld for his dog, has finally